Am I zooming? Do you know if I'm live? Oh boy. Can't tell. Let's see. Yes, I believe I am live. Sorry about that. Hi, everyone. I'm Chef AJ, and welcome to my channel. And I first have to say a heartfelt thanks to everyone for all your support. Today was the release date of my new book, Sweet Indulgence, and it is now not only #1 in several categories like vegan cooking, gluten-free cooking, and gluten-free books, but it is #12 in new releases on Amazon and #60 overall. I could not have done this without your love and support. I really appreciate it when you get the book and you get it early. I did an Instagram live with Dr. William Lee today, and he explained why it's so important if you're going to get the book and want to support the author to get it early. And by early, I mean between now and August 31st. If you already got the book, make sure you send us your receipt at sweetindulgencebook.com. I'll put a link in the chat. Actually, I should have done that, and I'll do that right now so that you know where to go to claim your bonuses. You can buy it anywhere fine books are stole. Anywhere books are stolen, you can buy it at Amazon, you can buy it at Barnes and Noble. People are buying it at Walmart and Target and small independent bookstores like A Seat at the Table, which can get you a signed copy. I really appreciate it. You have no idea. I wish I could personally thank each and every one of you and make you all something from the book. And also thanks to those of you that put lovely Amazon reviews. I really appreciate it. I will read every single one. It's been a busy day. I've been doing this since about 8 o'clock this morning. That's why I'm so late getting you the recipe of the day. But I promise it will be earlier tomorrow. I started my day today at 9 a.m. for an hour show, live PCRM on the exam room with Chuck Carroll, where I made, what did I make on his show? Oh, the Goodman peanut juice. So check out that video. Then at 11 o'clock with PB with Jay, that's Jeremy, a lovely guy from Canada. He did a wonderful, honest review of my book. And then today I made 3 recipes from the book on his show. At 12:30, I did a live with Dr. Brooke Goldner. She's an amazing interviewer. Usually she's the one being interviewed. We did not do recipes, but we talked about whether these desserts are suitable for people that maybe struggle with food addiction. And I think you might want to hear what she has to say because she is a psychiatrist. Then I did an Instagram live, something I'm not really that good at doing, because when I go on Instagram, basically what I'm doing is doing it through Restream, but I've never really kind of pushed those buttons. So that was Dr. William Lee, who endorsed my book, but also talked about the recipe. So that was nice. And then I did an hour with the Plantrician Conference being interviewed by Dr. Scott Stoll. So this is my 6th broadcast and my final one for the day, so then I can rest and go to my trivia group tonight. I am going to be making today from the book a very easy recipe. Most of the recipes in the book are easy, and this is the Decadent chocolate mousse, and it's perfect to make it now because I just got back on Sunday from 8 days teaching at Rancho La Puerta, and we always make this in the hands-on cooking classes, and it's a favorite of young and old alike. So I need to go into the other room to make that recipe. Oh, by the way, if you are asking questions, I won't be able to see the chat until I'm done. I'll come back and try to catch as many questions as I can. So in the meantime, I have got to turn my sound off. Yes, I am here. Hello. I was there and now I'm here. This is my newest chef coat. It's probably my favorite. It was designed by a friend, an artist in Desert Hot Springs named Julie Smith. She has a fabulous Instagram channel, Art by JAS. She makes dresses and shirts for both men and women and things for children. And she is just very, very talented. So this is a very easy recipe. It has very few ingredients and it's not that hard to make. So we're going to start with a food processor fitted with the S-Blade. I often tell you that you need to have a dry food processor, especially if you were making what we made yesterday, which I'm enjoying eating, which are the thumbprint or jam print cookies. And these are delicious. Oh, I'll just show you because I made this today on Jeremy's show. This is the Quick Pear Delight. It may not show up and look as delicious as it is, but this is actually can be served hot. And so what we need for this recipe is some tofu. Now, don't worry, I'm allergic to soy.
if you are allergic to soy or don't want to eat tofu, what you can do is substitute an equal amount, meaning per cup of avocado. It has to be ripe avocado, though, and that will work fine. Avocado works great for a sub for tofu in chocolate recipes. But in white recipes, like if you were making, say, a vanilla frosting, not so much, because obviously it's going to be green then. You can use any type of tofu. When I mean by type, like it can be soft, extra firm, firm. I like to use the extra firm when they have it. This store this time only had the light firm. It's going to be absolutely fine. The thing is you want to use silken tofu. It's very different. Silken tofu is shelf stable and it comes in a little package. It's not the tofu that you see in the water packed refrigerated section, which is delicious if you're going to make a stir fry or air fry it, but it doesn't work in desserts. It will not give you that creamy mouthfeel. Chocolate mousse is delicious and creamy because of all the high fat things that are put in it, like egg yolks and cream. The thing is this will give you the mouthfeel, but not the water packed tofu. So we're going to need 2 boxes, and we're just going to place them in our food processor fitted with the S blade. And like I mentioned, this is shelf stable, although even though it's shelf stable, some stores just choose to sell it in the refrigerated section. It does not need pressing. It does not need any kind of draining like the water packed tofu. We're going to add our non-dairy milk. I like to use unsweetened vanilla, but please feel free to use the non-dairy milk of your choice. And then our cocoa powder. And this is a little bit of vanilla bean powder right there that we're using. And you can use cocoa powder, you can use raw cacao powder, you could use carob powder. Now, please understand that while carob is delicious, it's a Mediterranean fruit, it is not chocolate. It will not have, the decadence of this, because you would also have to use carob chocolate chips, and it's not going to be chocolate mousse. It's going to be carob mousse. So I recommend, if you're using carob, do the other recipe in the book that is just straight up avocado, dates, and carob. So as far as chocolate, cocoa powder, the best you can afford, if you can afford Valrhona, but there's many good brands. Even Hershey has a dark brand that is excellent and very inexpensive, and you can even get it at Walmart. And so now we're going to just place this also in the food processor. And then we're just going to process this. Charles, I need this. So that's the first step. But you're saying, but there's nothing sweet in there, right? It's coming. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Okay. But even just doing that, it smells amazing and it's very creamy. It's just not sweet. So let's add our melted chocolate. So first thing I'm going to do is turn on my pan. And this is easier when you do it on your actual stove, but it would be harder for filming. And it's safer if you're not used to doing this. Remember, I was a pastry chef for 5 years. I'm pretty good at this, to use a double boiler if you're not familiar with melting chocolate. Because when you do things like toasting nuts or melted chocolate, 1 second looking away, it could cause it to burn, and then you'd have to throw it out. So what kind of chocolate are we using? Well, it's your choice. We're going to be sweetening it with date syrup. And I like to use I Love Date Lady date syrup because she gives me a 10% discount. She gives it to you too if you want it. And it comes in a lot of different sizes. This is the ½ gallon. And on her website, ilovedatelady.com, you can get 10% off with code Chef AJ. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it at Walmart, but Walmart only has the small. And so while my pan is heating up, I'll show you the different types of chocolate you can use. So there is unsweetened baker's chocolate. This is available at Walmart for $1.88 a box. Very affordable, 100% just cacao, nothing else. And Ghirardelli also makes 100% cacao. This is available at my local Raley's. If you like, you can use date sweetened chocolate chips. So these are just 3 ingredients. It's sweetened with dates. This was my idea in culinary school, but it was so hard to make these because you had to pipe each one. So I'm very thankful that a few companies make date sweetened chocolate chips. When you use the sweetened chocolate chips, even with dates, it's going to be sweeter than if you use the 100%. So, but I'm going to use this, and I'm going to place it in my pan. And I'm going to melt it with the date syrup. I like date syrup because it's a whole food. I can make it in my kitchen. I can't make maple syrup or agave or barley malt or coconut syrup or honey. I can't make any of those in my own kitchen, but I made my own date syrup for years. So I was very thankful when a company did it. So I didn't have to. I would be very thankful if a company would make Lissa's wraps. So I didn't have to. So I'm just going to be very mindful and keep stirring it. And when this is smooth and creamy and melted, I'm just going to place it in the food processor with my other ingredients. Now, a lot of people say, can I use the blender instead? So for a lot of the recipes, like what we made yesterday, I don't recommend a blender, but for this one, a blender, particularly a high-powered blender, works fine. And so be mindful of the heat. I started on high. I'm going to turn it way down. This little camp stove burner heats up really, really fast. And because I'm using chocolate chips as opposed to the bars, it actually will melt even quicker because they're smaller. I got these date sweetened chocolate chips at Whole Foods. I've also seen them at Sprouts, and I have seen them online. And you can also get 100% cacao only chocolate chips online. Santa Barbara chocolate is where a lot of people I know buy it. Trader Joe's occasionally will have 100% chocolate chips. For Trader Joe's, like Costco, they can have something wonderful and then it could be gone forever. So you can see how quickly this is melted. So you never want to step away from it. People go nuts for this recipe. It is so rich, you can't eat a lot of it. One recipe like this will serve the entire class, which is about 16 people. And you can garnish it with fresh berries, raspberries, strawberries, cacao nibs. It is amazing. We are done. This is so quick and easy. Now I'm going to carefully pour it in my food processor. I love this little Pampered Chef pan. You can see nothing sticks to it. Cleanup will be very, very easy. Let me just put it down here. There we go. And now, once again, I'm going to process in the food processor. Every now and then, it's not a bad idea to take your spatula. This really, I've been making this since I was 27 years old, which is almost 40 years. So I'm what they call the vegan OG, Sunday, which is September 1st. It will be my 47th vegan anniversary. That means that I'll be vegan for 47 years, which is longer than a lot of you guys have been alive. So it's looking pretty good, but you want it as creamy as possible. So let's just give it another real quick spin. Now this is going to thicken as it cools, because remember we had chocolate, we melted it, so it's not going to be hard, but it's going to be thicker. If for some reason you want it thinner and more pudding-like, simply add more non-dairy milk. And this can actually be used as a frosting or a filling, especially if you don't put the milk in. So this is just pure decadence. I don't know if it can be frozen. I never tried. No one will know that it's tofu in it. It's silky, it's smooth. No one will know it's vegan, it's dairy-free, or sweetened with dates. Easy to make. You will really impress the company. That's it. These recipes are easy. So I'm going to go back to the other room in case there's any questions.
Where am I? There I am. I'm back. And now I can look at the chat. And hi, everybody on Instagram. And thank you for your kind wishes. Do you need to chill it? Great question, painters and posts and plays. Yes, absolutely chill it, because chilling it will it will just intensify the flavor. I mean, if you were really wanting to eat it now, you could, but really definitely chill it, and chill it in pretty cups if you have it. Great question. And let's see if there's any more questions. Can't wait to try this one. You love chocolate mousse and don't eat it anymore, says Marley. Great. What brand of cocoa powder do you use? So this time I used Hershey's, the dark edition. And when it's something I like, if I'm doing it like at a fancy schmancy thing, I'll use the Valrhona. It's like $25 a pound. Hershey's is fine, but I prefer the dark chocolate. There's lots of great brands, Scharfenberg, Ghirardelli's good. So, use your favorite or the best you can afford. Lisbeth says, I just started this new lifestyle, loving it, learning a lot, reading your books. Great. Thank you very much. Oh boy, Marley just received the book. Well, just make sure that you submit your receipt to the bonuses. There's no time limit on submitting your receipt, just a time limit if you want the bonuses, which is August 31st. So let's just see what's happening on some of the other places that I'm streaming, which is I multi-stream to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, although this is primarily a YouTube show. Okay, so we Spirit says it's worth every penny. Thank you. Diane, good to see you again. I haven't seen you in a while. This top is actually a chef coat. It may not look like it, but it is a professional chef coat that was hand painted by the lady that painted all of not all of Dr. McDougall's shirts, but all of his shirts that look like this. And oh my gosh, Kelly, you bought 4 of them. So Kelly, thank you. And if you buy more than one, you can still get more than one bonus. Just when you submit it, give somebody else's email so that they get all the bonuses. I am amazed at how you filmed most of it. Yeah, I filmed every single recipe, all 157. Lisa can't wait to get the book. And I'm sorry, I don't, it's not like Amazon will just take my call. So why it's delayed, I don't know. Question about the bonuses. Oh, so there's no limit because if you download the bonuses, Charles, there's no time limit on how often they can watch or do they have to watch it, right?
There's no time limit. They can continue to watch it again.
Forever.
Again.
Yeah, you have to
Yes.
download it probably or just.
Well, it's a platform that they click on and the video is hosted on another
Right.
website on a platform, but they can watch it.
It's
online.
it's not going to be taken away. Victoria says, congratulations, waiting for the book. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you from the UK, Karen, for ordering the book. Marissa says she loves the book. I appreciate that. So the person that designed my coat is named Julie Smith. Her Instagram is art by JAS. Yes, that is low-fat tofu, Matthew, that I use. That's because of what the store had. You always give measurements for millet, but what is the equivalent of flour? So here's the thing, Julie. I'm not using a lot of flour at all. And so really out of the 157 recipes, only 2 have to have flour in order to bake and rise. And that would be the cupcake on the cover and the German chocolate cake. So when I use millet flour, it's a half a cup. And I'm not doing that for any other reason is to mitigate the gumminess of the oats. When I've done it and measured it, it's almost exactly the same, almost. So just use a half a cup. I would say that when you grind it, maybe it's just a little bit less than half a cup, but half a cup is absolutely fine to just use the flour. Let's see, how much avocado? Equal amounts. So what you'd have to do is take the tofu, measure it in a cup. I mean, I could have probably done that, but it's too late now. So it looked like maybe each thing was like a cup, and you'd have to have an equal amount. So I would do an equal amount by cups rather than weight because tofu has a lot of water in it. And well, avocado has water in it too. So, when we go to Rancho La Puerta and they can't get tofu because it didn't come in, so if it's 2 blocks of tofu, 2 large avocados. So just visually kind of try to make the same amount. How do you make a tall without eating it? It's got to be tempting. Well, first of all, I never make desserts when I'm hungry. That's for sure, because that would be a disaster. So I always have a belly full of starch and vegetables, number one. And, truthfully, after being a pastry chef, it's not that I don't love desserts, but I remember would come home from the bakery and I would just like put dulce in my mouth. Like I got so sick of having a sweet taste in my mouth all the time. So, and I'm not making desserts all the time. I'm making them all the time this week, but boy, did I make a lot of them when we were filming the bonuses, sometimes 32 recipes in one day. So, I don't know. I just make sure that I eat lots of greens to mitigate any cravings for sugar, and I don't do this on an empty stomach, ever. Just like I don't go shopping. Her husband Charles eats what she can't. All right. Yes, I do try, Kathy, ever since I started teaching for underserved communities to make sure that every ingredient is available at Walmart. And you would be surprised. I can't vouch for every Walmart in the world because, for example, the Walmart in Mexico didn't have date syrup, but all the Walmarts in California have date syrup. They have nutritional yeast. They have reduced balsamic vinegar. They have 100% chocolate. It's amazing what Walmart is carrying, and much of it is organic. Thank you, Alice, that my vision board will be coming soon. If these sales keep up, yes, it will. Cheryl says it looks amazing. And a different Cheryl says it's a beautiful book. This is one recipe I tried, but I would need to add less sweetener. Well, you know, here's the thing. You can add less sweetener. Absolutely. I'm trying to cater to like the standard kind of eater. So yeah, you can always cut the sweetener down. Absolutely. You can always add. How many new recipes? Oh, well, so Mona, the master class had, I can't remember off the top of my head, but let's see, it was a 12-week course. 6 of the weeks was me demonstrating. I'm guessing I demonstrated between 3 and 6 recipes a day. So let's just, I'm just guessing 35. This book has 157 recipes. So there is a lot of recipes that weren't in the master class that are in this book. The master class kind of concentrated on more of like, I believe it was like a lot of holiday recipes. So quite a few. Cindy ordered Kindle copy. Thank you. Kindle copies count towards New York Times bestseller. My bonuses ended up in spam. Okay, so good point, Ev. So people should check their bonuses. Diane's waiting for the book, and Suzanne received the beautiful book today. Thank you. Since we're both allergic to soy, would there be? Yes, I did say, Linda, avocado is what I would substitute. Make sure it's ripe, though. Not ripe avocado is not so great. Have you thought about writing a raw food recipe cookbook? So believe it or not, I've written 3. They're available for sale on my website. So the answer is I've already written 3. If you go to chefaj.com, you can see them. And I wrote them with Lissa Maris, and there's nobody better than her. So I don't know if I have another one in me, because the last one had 47 recipes. So it's Make It Raw, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. And believe it or not, there's a section in the book with raw recipes, or that people, or maybe it's not its own section, but there's several recipes in the book that could be made by 100% raw fooder. And even ones that aren't raw, like that have oats. Well, Lissa told me that you can get raw oats. They're sprouted, and I bought them. So a lot of the recipes can be made raw. Yes, you get the bonuses whether you order the Kindle or the hardcover. But I gotta say, I saw it on Kindle, and this is a coffee table book, and it really, yeah, I mean, it really does. The pictures are just so incredible when you can actually see them. So, all right. Hello, Bailey. Sam's daughter, Sush, gifted the book to me so I can live longer. Fantastic. I saw that wonderful review on Amazon. It was, I believe, the second one. Hey, Dixie, how you doing? Mona's waiting for the book. Okay. So that's it. I don't want to keep you on too long, mainly because I'm pretty tired. But I'm going to go live again tomorrow. We're going to try to do it earlier, like at 11. Tomorrow, I'm going to be making gingered cantaloupe soup, and I'm going to show you how you can turn it into popsicles. So, oh yes, most recipes don't have chocolate, Nancy. You know, I wonder if I can find this email while I'm online, but we actually, you know, figured out, well, I didn't figure out, lovely Linda figured out how many of the recipes have this and that. So basically, there are 157 recipes in the book, and they have, oh, let's see, here we go. Let me open it up right now here. Perfect. Okay, let me go over the thing. Of 157 recipes, 21 are subtly sweet, which means not very sweet. 108 are nice and sweet, which are kind of like the way I like them. And 28 are superbly sweet. And as we just talked about, you can change that by adding a sweetener. Of the 157 recipes, 108 are low fat. So if you're following a McDougall, Ornish, Esselstyn, or Pritikin style program, you could probably eat them. 21 are semi-decadent, and 28 are rich and decadent. So most of them are low fat, low calorie density, and not so sweet. So 9 of the semi-decadent or rich desserts also offer low-fat options. There are only 8 recipes of the 157 with tofu. It's so funny. I was on somebody's channel, like, oh, she doesn't eat nuts, and now she writes a cookbook with all nuts. Okay, just so you know, out of the 157 recipes, 43 have nuts. and you can always substitute them. You can substitute seeds for them. You can substitute oats. And only 29 recipes have chocolate. So there, I got to keep that open. So remember, there you have the entire breakdown. Charles, somebody said, Carol Lee said, when I try to open the bonus, it says the site is unprotected, so I'm worried about opening them.
Well, it may just be an issue with sometimes some browsers are more picky than others, but it is it is a commercial website.
It's a commercial website. I don't know if you heard my husband, he said sometimes browsers, some are more picky. What advice should I give her?
Well, let's see. I don't think there's no real danger in it getting any information from them. Because
Okay.
they're not really putting information in it, they're just watching.
Yeah, you're
videos
just watching, so
or downloading.
or if you continue to be worried about it, email us we won't get to you till tomorrow, but help@chefaj.com. And yes, it does say whether ever dessert is low fat, medium fat, high fat, super sweet, or we call superbly sweet, nice and sweet, or subtly sweet. So lots of grids. And thank you, Shirley received the cookbook. So I'm going to go because I got to do this again tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. So please consider, if you are going to support me and buy the book, to please buy it as soon as possible. Definitely not after August 31st, because then it doesn't count. It does count for a book sale. It won't count for New York Times bestseller status. Save the receipt. Go to the link below, sweetindulgencebook.com, and we will email you over $1,000 worth of bonuses, including a video of every single recipe and the Sweet Indulgence Masterclass. There's so much. I don't know if Valrhona is a high-fat cocoa. I don't think it's any higher in fat. It's just a very, very good quality cocoa powder, but it's hard to find except at some Whole Foods and also online, but you can certainly find it in France. So that's it. I'm number 60 on Amazon overall. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if a vegan book without refined sugar, oil, and salt hit number 1? I think so. And with your support, I can do it. And remember, you don't have to dessert when it's made from the fruit, the whole fruit, and nothing but the whole fruit. Happy eating, everyone.